The FBI is warning people about popular social media trends that can lead to fraud. And joining me via Facebook Live is Shelley Lynch, who is with the FBI's Charlotte Division Office. Shelley, thanks again for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So a lot of people have been putting pictures recently of themselves as they were a high school graduate 15, 20 years ago. And it's all part of this movement, I guess you could call it, to try to make high school seniors who are graduating this year feel better about not having graduation ceremonies because of the outbreak. What caution would you offer for us to use some discretion before we put that information freely out there on social media platforms?
So it's great to show support to the seniors who may not be able to have their own graduation this year, but you start to think about maybe the questions that are answered with that. Some people are posting their picture, but then they're also posting what the name of their high school is, what their school mascot was, and what year they graduated. And if you stop and think about that, those are the answers to some very common password retrieval security questions. So when you go online and make your email account or your bank account, and you need to, when you set that up for that password retrieval, what high school you graduated from or what your high school mascot is, those are very common answers to those questions. So now you've put it out there on the world to know those answers as well.
What are some of the things the FBI would recommend that we do to kind of police our own personal information a little bit better?
One of the main things you want to do, obviously, is to set the security settings as high as you can on whatever social media that you're trying to do. But, the bottom line is we really are our best defense. So stop and think about whether you need to put that information out there or not and what the risk of that could be. So another one that I've seen recently is what your first car was, what street you lived on, who your best friend was 20 years ago. So your oldest best friend, your first car, again, those are the answers to very common password retrieval questions. So one of the things that you can do when you set up these accounts to protect your personal information is to set up a two-factor authentication or a multi-factor authentication. And in that way, whenever you are trying to log into these accounts, then you have to prove who you are by more than just that password. It could be something that you know, which could be your PIN or password. Also something that you have, which could be one of those little tokens that has a number that changes that you plug in. Or also a lot of times your bank or your mortgage institution or 401k, they might ask to send you a text message or a email that has a code in it as well. And so that's another good way to make sure that it's you who's logging into your account. And the third thing is something that you are, and that would be your fingerprint, your facial ID. You use that probably many times today just to get into your phone and check email. So you want to make sure that you have more than just a password to access accounts, especially those really personal accounts like your business and your medical.
All right, lots of really good information there. Once again, Shelley Lynch, who's with the FBI Charlotte Division Office, thank you for your time. We appreciate these tips. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more right after this.